Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 legend teams for the Open Master League. The Master League is going to be available for at least 2 weeks, I think actually even for longer. So if you like this league, this might be some video here for you as well. If you don't like the league, it still might be the better team or like better league to play if you don't like the Love Cup, because Love Cup is going to be available for another week as well until the Great League is coming back. So yeah, I will most likely play a lot of Master League on this channel here as well for the upcoming week. But again, like neither of them are going to be that great, Love Cup or the Master League, so I'm mostly going to try to focus even on alternative content. So let me know down below what kind of other content would you like to see for the Go Battle League, would be really interesting for me. And we can move on to the first team now. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done it yet, would really appreciate it, helps me to spread the videos. And it is free as well, which is great. Team number 1. Like here we're going to see like Pokemon that you're going to see quite a lot. Here we're going to have 2 legend teams actually together. We're going to have Necrozma we're going to have the Palkia and Kyogre. You see of course always the name on the left side who hit legend with this one. And as you will see here as well, we're going to have some standard Pokemon, and we have a very standard core of Necrozma and Palkia Origin. This could be the case that the Necrozma runs a different moveset. You can run Outrage on this Pokemon, you can run Iron Head over Sunsteel Strike on this Pokemon for better pacing. But I just went for the standard moveset and I feel like this is going to be fine. Kyogre in the back or Kyurem here. Kyurem, kind of an interesting choice. Going to be interesting, especially as we're going to have also very soon the other forms of Kyurem coming for the Master League, which is going to change quite a bit of the Master League. There's another change as well to one of the forms getting Ice Fang, I think, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is going to be it for the team number 1. Again, Kyurem is going to be a Pokemon that you want to build anyway, because this is kind of where the Kyurem Black and Kyurem White is going to be based on the IVs of your Kyurem, and the level of your Kyurem is going to be very important. It doesn't matter which Reshiram or Zekrom you use, so yeah, feel free to definitely build your Kyurem already. The next team here, I really like this one, and I kind of maybe want to take a look at this one as well, because we have Zamazenta here with Ice Fang. I have my Needy build, not fully built, but Needy build, and Zamazenta with Ice Fang is a very good Pokemon in the current meta, allowing you to especially bait a lot of Pokemon out that might be able to counter you, because they are Fighting-type Pokemon, and Fighting-type Pokemon are weak to Flying-type Pokemon, so maybe you're gonna get out a Landorus, which then definitely regrets that choice to go into your Zacian, because Zamazenta, because you're going to have Ice Fang, which is double super effective there. Other Pokemon that you're going to be able to hit there as well are going to be the Dragon types, which is going to be great because they're Pokemon like, for example, the Giratina, which usually would be able to counter, of course, Fighting type Pokemon, but not this one with Crunch and Ice Fang. So yeah, I feel like Zamazenta is a very strong Pokemon for the meta. Here we have the Landorus in the back, core with the Dialga makes a lot of sense. The Dialga are going to be able to beat those Water-type Pokemon, and the Landorus kinda doesn't want to face, for example, a Kyogre, which also Zamazenta kinda baits out because Ice Fang is going to be resistant against water, so yeah, it does make a lot of sense here. Landorus got a bit of a nerf here with the Mudshot, of course, this last season actually. But I'm also curious on what kind of changes we're going to have for the next season. I'm most likely going to be away when this is going to get released, because I'm going to be in London for the EOSC. If you're there, feel free to say hello if you see me anywhere. Would really appreciate it. But yeah, let's move on to team at number 3. Which is going to be here the lead of Palkia. We're going to have the Landorus in the back and the Necrozma main again. Like, this is the thing as well, like, I'm not going to have here the most craziest teams ever in there, but we have some more very interesting teams coming up, trust me there. But it's still a very solid team here, especially with Palkia and Necrozma. The score is just so good in the current meta that there are only a few Pokemon that can really break it. One would be Rhyperior, which doesn't then want to face the Landorus, so yeah, that would be, for example, something why you have the Landorus there as well to cover the weakness against the Rhyperior, which is still fine in the lead because it's still going to be able to kind of CMP tie on the Aqua Tails. But, of course, over a long period of time, the Breaking Swipe is just ending up against the Palkia, which makes it a bit of an awkward matchup, even for the Palkia, which is kind of funny. But let's move on to team number 4. Zamazenta and Zacian in one team, and this is something that I really think is great. We're going to have Zacian here with Quick Attack, Wild Charge, and Close Combat. This is a moveset that I specifically chose. I'm not too sure if they actually used this moveset, but I feel like it would make the most amount of sense, being the most neutral one against the current meta, and leaving you with weaknesses that you can cover with your backline that you have. And I think that's going to be the best way of running this one. This team could have a bit of an issue though against the Necrozma main, where I'm not too sure on how you want to really counter it. I guess you can go for Snarl in the lead and you have a very neutral matchup, which could work out. But yeah, Dialga on the back here is an interesting choice. I most likely would go for something different than Dialga in general, just to counter Necrozma main, but it could be something like a Landorus as well. But this team here worked out for someone, so why not? Next team is something that I like a lot. I like the core of Tapu Bulu Yveltal. I think it's like one of the coolest cores. There's also the core of Tapu Bulu and the Nihiligo. Nihiligo going to be very cool for the upcoming meta because everybody's going to have now the Enamoras. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting team. Very interesting here with the Yveltal Tapu Bulu core. As you can see here, very strong team as well. Should work out really, really well. Also, of course, the Tapu Bulu is going to be able to counter some of the answers for the landers, like the Kyogre. And I would actually use the Yveltal as your safe swap here. I think that makes more sense. And we can move on to the next team. Team number 6, we're going to have here actually a team with Primarina. I'm not too sure about the moves, but I would assume that Primarina is running Charm here for this one. As it's going to counter other Dragon-type Pokemon, which Zygarde can kinda sometimes struggle against, especially the Dialga. Kyogre already going to be having Waterfall as a fast move. It doesn't really make sense to have 2 Pokemon with Waterfall in one team as an ABA team, so I would assume that Charm is going to be the choice here, especially as it's going to help as well against the Palkia Origin form, which can be a little bit tricky otherwise. Also going to help against something like the Zarude, which you're going to be able to win in the 2-shade scenario as well. And so, I feel like it's going to be an interesting team. Again, Zygarde Complete is something that a lot of people don't have, but again, it's one of the best, it's actually the best Pokemon in the meta, so of course you're going to see it in team number 6 as well, but maybe also in team number 7. And we have a very interesting one here, because other than Zygarde, we're going to have some spicy ones here with Melmetal, where I'm not too sure which moveset they were running. I actually would run a different moveset on Melmetal. I actually would run the Superpower plus the Double Iron Bash. While Double Iron Bash is not a great move at all, it helps you out in a lot of matchups currently, where you kind of want to go for, yeah, just a little bit of damage against, like, for example, the Fairy-type Pokemon, which you want to, deal with the for the Zygarde anyway. And Amoros very likely going to be the safe swap here, and Amoros very good as a safe swap as well. And so, yeah, this team is going to be very, very interesting. And Amoros honestly so good, and like, they're going to be, I think, another team with Enamoras coming up as well. This Pokemon currently spawning, like, in raids, I guess. So definitely try to get this Pokemon. It is very, very much worth it. This Pokemon is really, really good with Fly, Fairy Wind, and Grass Knot, allowing you to basically beat most of the current meta, especially in the 2-shade scenario. This Pokemon has insane pacing. And we can move on to team number 8, which is going to have here the lead of the Ho-Oh. Then we have the Tapu Bulu as well as the Yveltal. Actually, I had the wrong Tapu in there, the Tapu Bulu in there for a second. Yeah, we're going to have Tapu Lele here, which is actually the Pokemon that they used for this video here. Now we're going to have Ho in the lead, we're going to have the Yveltal in the back. I think that's kind of how they played this one. Ho, of course, an answer to the Fairy-type Pokemon. The Seiza of Tapu Lele is very likely the case here. Tapu Lele Seiza is really cool because you have Astonish plus Nature's Madness, which is a very deadly combination. And Tapu Lele is really, really cool because you have a lot of coverage against a lot of Pokemon. You can basically do everything, like something against every Pokemon in the current meta, which is kind of mad, which you see as well by not having a blue line there with a big white dot in the Tapu Lele line. It's basically very neutral against everything, has play against everything. And if you want to have play against something like a Ho as well, you can run instead of the Moonblast, the Psyshock, having then just neutral damage against it, which are also like stab like the Psyshock. So again, this Pokemon really, really cool. If you want to have a bit better coverage against Rhyperior, Focus Blast is your friend. But anyway, let's move on to team number 9. Team number 9 here is going to now have the Enamoras again. And we're going to have the backline of Dialga and Kyogre. This is a very, very common backline back in the day as well, the Dialga Kyogre core. And it's like very, very common there. And the Enamoras in the lead is going to be just kind of trying to realign yourself. And that's the thing for Enamoras, it's very, very overpowered in the 2-shade scenario. So if you can give alignment with your team, then you're basically going to be set for winning the battle. And I think that's kind of how this team going to work. And this would be kind of the team that I most like would try out myself when I would try out the Enamoras, because it's kind of uses Enamoras in the way that it's kind of the best way, I feel like, and still kind of has some interesting Pokemon in the back that most people currently have with Dialga and Kyogre. So I really like this team. I think it's a great team to run, and I would really recommend you to give it a try. It looks like great on paper, has a lot of sense behind it, and only against Ho-Oh you kind of really have to say so here, I feel like, or like Solgaleo and like Necrozma, I guess would also be something I would rather want to say so. But we can move on now to the final team. I don't think this was actually a legend team, but Neo was able to climb up crazy with this team, which is a non-legendary team. That's why I kind of wanted to put it in. We have Rhyperior, I think it was a Shadow variant. You can use a normal variant anyway. Shadow's a little bit better though. Shadow's definitely a little bit better for the Master League, because you kind of want to have the fast move and the charge move pressure more than the bulk for you, because a lot of times for Rhyperior, you get hit by a super effective hit anyway, like Iron Head, like Awkward Tail, stuff like this. So it's better for you to have a little bit more damage output with this Pokemon, pressuring the opponent a little bit more. Florges in the back and Dragonite are going to be very strong as well. Florges, very, very good Fairy-type Pokemon. And yeah, this is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. again, what are you playing next week as well? Are you playing in the Master League? Are you playing the, what's called the Love Cup? Let me know down below. Would really be cool. See you then. Bye-bye.